Hello and welcome to Nissan's Arizona Technical Center, where we're conducting our 2011 Motor Trend Truck of the Year competition. It's a small group this year, but it's full of the heavy hitters. And in order to get a clearer understanding of how good these trucks are, we've asked for two different versions, the 1-ton and the 3/4 ton. The contenders this year are the Chevy Silverado 2500 and 3500 HD, the GMC Sierra 2500 and 3500 HDs, and the Ford F-250 Lariat and F-350 King Ranch. The contenders are judged in 6 key criteria: advancement in design, engineering excellence, efficiency, safety, value, and performance of intended function. These contenders have been battling head-to-head for years, Ford versus GM. It doesn't get any more classic than that. This should be a pretty intense competition. Let's see what happens. Our competition begins with a full complement of instrumented testing: 0 to 60, quarter mile, skid pad, 60 to 0 braking. But in addition to that, because these are pickup trucks, we also do some max payload testing and also some heavy-duty trailer testing. We put almost 4,000 pounds in the bed of the 1-ton pickup trucks and get a chance to do some acceleration runs. With the 3/4 ton versions, we put about 2,000 pounds in the bed, practically maxing out both the 1-ton and 3/4 ton pickup trucks. In addition to that, we also do trailering. We put 12,000 pounds on the back end of the 1-tons and 7,000 pounds on the back end of the 3/4 tons. And then we also do the acceleration test to get a sense on how well these trucks like to work. The winner is going to have to be able to pull heavy payloads and big trailers better than the competition. Once we get our performance data, each judge is turned loose with all the vehicles on the proving grounds here at Nissan's Arizona Technical Center. There's basically 3 different areas that they get a chance to drive on. First, the high-speed oval, simulating merging onto freeways and higher mile-per-hour speeds. Also, the Ride and Comfort Loop, which simulates different types of road surfaces all over the country. This gives us a chance to see how much noise intrusion and how much tire noise is created depending on how good or bad the road surfaces are. The third is our marketability loop. This basically simulates high and low speed turns, elevation changes, gives us a real chance to figure out how well this vehicle works as an entire unit, how well the chassis works with the engine, the transmission with the engine, and how much noise there might be depending on how aggressive or tame the roads are that we're driving. All right, we've got all our test data. Everybody's had a chance to drive every truck on all these different terrains. Now it's time for the deliberation. Let's see how it goes.
When it comes to the Silverado HD line, one of the things I really like is that it's a very understated truck. It just does what it does, it works hard, and it's a very honest truck in that way. Inside and out, the styling is not going to blind anyone with how ostentatious it is. It's very low-key, very clean, very good-looking. Overall, I was very impressed with this truck.
Everything about the driving dynamics of the Chevrolet was just really good. Yeah, you do feel some of the bumps, but they absorbed them well, and the steering response was fantastic. The transmission is virtually seamless, which is something surprising in a truck, especially an HD truck with a diesel. I thought they put together a good package.
I keep going back and forth about the F-250 Super Duty specifically. The engine makes a wonderful noise. I love getting into the throttle. The tap-up, tap-down transmission is a lot of fun to play with. But it still just let me down a little bit. It didn't quite feel as powerful as it was sounding. I mean, these are heavy-duty trucks. They've got to really bear themselves out, loaded and unloaded. We looked at some of the empirical numbers, and they're just not panning out the way that they probably should. I think I was expecting a lot from that 6.2 in the F-250, and it ended up maybe letting me down a little bit.
First hopped in the Ford King Ranch. I was just like, wow, this is 800 pound-feet. It feels incredible. I just was blown away at how fast it was. You really feel it, but it doesn't translate to the test numbers. And the thing is, just looks so ostentatious. I mean, I was looking at the rearview mirror while somebody else was driving it, and I thought it just looked like a transformer, like stuck in the middle of transforming. That said, sync and the whole infotainment system is fantastic, and I wish I could take that and put it in the Chevy. But ultimately, the Ford just has too much flash, like you said, Ed, and not enough substance to be a truck of the year.
I really like the styling of both GMCs as well. I thought they're handsome, they're good-looking trucks. I did enjoy the way they drove a lot. Again, it was a lot like the Chevy in that with that new independent front suspension, they do drive like a car. When you're inside it, you don't feel like you're in a huge truck like in the Fords. This is really like a full-size truck, that kind of size, that kind of dimension. And yet it's got the capacity and capability of a true heavy duty, as we saw in the numbers.
The thing I appreciate about what GMC is trying to do with the Denali package is stretch itself, and I think this is definitely the right thing for them to do, but there's clearly a learning curve here. They have to be doing something more if they want to stretch that premium luxury or premium brand image that they've been trying to cultivate for so many years, especially in a heavy-duty truck market where there are a lot of guys with a lot of money that want to spend it on their truck. This is the place where it should be most obvious for them to do that. So this package, the Denali package, because it has a great brand cachet to it, left me wanting. But I'm expecting and hoping that GMC is going to do something more down the road.
All right, so there's some very interesting results here. It was either unanimous decision or very close, depending on how you look at it. General Motors won in a landslide, but the difference between the two brands came down to one vote. Your truck of the year for 2011 is